Welcome back, everybody. Today we will talk about React lifecycle. As you can see, I am on the official website of React, and we talk about life cycle today. And life cycle is a bit tricky because some of their life cycles are already deprecated and some new life cycles showed up already. Now, when I'm talking about life cycle, you may ask, what's really life cycle? Yes, guys, everything has a a life. We get born and we grow up and we get old and we die. That's life. Yeah, it has a cycle. And you start this course and you are about in the middle of the course, and at some point also you finish. That's the life cycle or the span of this course, right? Then it's a kind of the life cycle or the span of this course, the duration from the beginning and the middle part and the end part. And when it comes to also React components, there is three stage of life cycles. I think the mounting, updating, and the unmount. Okay, I think it's better maybe if I just go to my documentation instead. This is, as you can see here, there are three main life cycles. What is mounting? Mounting means actually coming to existence. Yeah, we come to exist. For instance, you join this course and you are part of this course and we know each other, and you mounted, you came to exist. And at the very beginning, when you join the course, you don't have any idea of React or anything. Now you know something. That means you've been updated, right? But at some point when you leave this course, that means unmounting stage. Yeah, that is actually the process of a component life cycle, but we have to do it practically. So let's create again a React project. What was our project? If you remember, this is our project, yeah, React Spring. And it seems today is the 6th week, so let's create a folder week 6. And I like to create a project. I call it life cycle, npx create react app, right? Then I call it component life cycle. Yeah, so this is the name of a project. Then it will be easy for you to go into this folder and to see what we did later. Yeah, of course, we have to wait for some time. Oh yeah. We have to wait for it because if I just talk, you may not understand. So we have to do it practically what we are talking about. Yeah. In the meantime, I will let me just let's see this. Countries API. Because we will fetch and I will make it ready. Maybe if you need, I'll also share with you because you need it. Of course, you can search, but why? I can share with you. Someone asked me, please, how can we remove the list empty under skills? What do you mean that?
Yeah, I attach a file with it. If you open that file, when we submit the form,
Yeah.
then from there, under the scale.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you click like, okay, out of 5, you click 3, you still have some empty space.
Yeah.
It's possible to remove those empty space. If you click that picture, you can be able to see it very well. I don't know.
If I open.
Yeah, under the chat, I attached one screen there.
Where is it?
You know, the chat.
Yeah, I downloaded it already. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, where is it storing it? No one knows. Okay, so what's the question?
You see under the scale.
Yes.
You know, HTML.
Yeah.
The one list gap. Then is it possible to remove those?
Yeah, but these are coming from some empty field because there's some of the when you iterate,
Yeah.
or when you map, there are some empty fields. So you should filter them out using filter and then map. So then where are these coming from? I don't know.
Okay, let me explain better. Maybe you can understand what's happened there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what we did on Monday about the form. So when you submit the form,
yeah.
So then when I submitted the form,
Yes.
then this result came out from the top, like the students, you know, as you explained to us.
Yeah.
So instead of click all the results, like HTML, Python, React, so I decided to click just 3, which is HTML, JavaScript, then submit.
Yeah.
Click submit.
Yeah.
Then the result came out. So then there's gap like this.
Oh, but there's a way. Yeah, I will show you.
Yeah, so that's what.
Yep, I will. We will have time and run the code and see it together.
Okay. Okay.
Because we have here the code, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. But please remind me in case if I forget. And we can also do some cleanup there. So let's run this. As you can see now, we have the component lifecycle. Maybe I think it's hard for you to see the component lifecycle folder as in a project, a React project. So I have to go to even the create React app is telling me to go there. CD component. Great. Yeah, then yarn run or npm run. And then let's see what happened. npm start, sorry. Because this those commands is not known. Yeah, now it's starting. Let's give it some time. I think in the meantime, I want to put it in the other side and this to the left. Great. I think it's too big, right? Maybe I have, yeah, but it's okay. It's easy for you to see. We don't do a cleaning. We'll just leave and start working on the app, right? Now you know how it works and we don't have to do that all the time. But I will change this to a class-based component because only class-based components do have life cycle and state based on the old React. Okay, why we learn the old React? Because it's so important for you guys. Then when we start hook next week, it will be so easy and you will have a solid understanding of React. And you know the genesis, if you don't know the genesis, then it's hard all the time. Then let's change this to React a class-based React component class, okay, then app, and then extend this to React dot, oh, don't do that, React dot component, and then we just do this. This needs render as a built-in method there. Inside the render, you should return a JSX H1 here. I am a very proud class-based component. And then I will remove this because we have already made one. Yeah, as you can see, we have to import the React. Import React. By the way, some time ago, React doesn't work if we don't import React. But now it's out of the box, it's just working. I think we don't have to just React. Yeah, as you can see, it will be rendered soon. Yeah, I'm a very, yes, great. But I can just say a class-based component. A class-based. Great. So class-based component usually have. Do you remember constructor, guys? Constructor. Yeah, we can say props and something like this. Do you remember constructor when did we use? When we learn class or what? Must call super constructor. Okay. Super. Yeah, so if you have a constructor and you have to also call the super, so that means actually it's just this app is a child of this the React component. And today I will also show you how to import different modules from React. For instance, we can import component itself, the component, and we don't have to write react.component. Instead, we can write it like this. We can also actually import fragment. There is the so-called fragment. We have not yet used the constructor in this lesson yet, but we've been talking about in the JavaScript lesson, yes. Constructor is the way we use whenever we create a child, yeah? So for a child to inherit, I may show you. Const construct class, and we have animal. And this animal may be constructor, name, age, and maybe a breed, I don't know. So we can do this dot name and then name, and this dot name, so age, then age. This dot breed and the breed. So this, everybody knows this is a class, right? Yeah. So maybe if you want to get the get name of this, so you may say return this dot name. Now I have a method. Then you may create actually a child. It's so easy, class, and I want to call the child a dog. And this dog has to extend from animal, because we don't have to rewrite everything. So we can use a constructor and then all the name, age, breed, and then we can come here and then super, we have to say name, age, and breed. But maybe I think this dog may say like bark, right? We can say this property, what is that property? I can call it a behavior, for instance. Here I can say this dot behavior. Behavior could be much, and then I can add additional, say woof, and then I can say this dot behavior. So this animal, or every animal can say wolf, because it could be a cat or a cow or different, but this is different from this. We inherit the name, the age, the breed, but we added additional what? Only the behavior of this. It just say wolf, so we can return the wolf or something like that. As you can see now, I use the super to inherit these properties. Yeah. So this, we call this object-oriented programming. I want to ask, how about the guys who has been in the JavaScript class? Did you remember something? Did you manage to remember something here?
Yes.
Yeah, but you don't have to, guys. This is just, even you don't have to understand class to make use of React. What I'm just trying to show you, even now, we don't have to use constructor in React, but it's very important for this lesson to show you life cycle. Okay, let me write something here. Console.log. I am the first to be executed. Oh, it sounds like I don't know how to write that. And then I write something console. Oh, don't do that. I will be the second to be executed. Okay. Well, what do I mean by this? I will show you something. We're talking about life cycle, right? So in life cycle, I told you that there is a mounting stage and there is an updating stage and there is an mounting stage. And then I make association or analogy with your presence in this course. The first time you sign up for this course and show up the first day you just mounted, yeah? Your existence is known by me, at least, and by other students. That's the mounting stage. And when this React component show up here is also, that's the mounting stage. Okay, then what's updating? If we have some click, And if I click and if this changes, then that's updating. And with some change, if I don't see the component anymore here, then that is unmounting. Do you understand the 3 stages?
Yeah.
Yes.
The big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to take it that you came to
But
this course.
does updating also means whenever the pages refreshes, or it's just related to events that
Yes, a
actually?
very good question. When we work with JavaScript and modern JavaScript libraries, we try to avoid page refresh. Page refresh means you are starting everything from scratch and all the variables turn to be from their original point. So that's not good, and most probably it will not refresh. But what it does, the state will change. And if the state will change, there will be an update. Yeah. So for instance, you come with a fresh mind. You don't know about the React. You've been learning and now you know React. You've been updated many times. You have something. And then when the course is complete, when you have enough knowledge, and there's no need to be here for you, right? You go away, you go somewhere, then you are unmounted. So the mounting is just existence. For instance, this exists, it's mounted, yeah? It can be mounted with a state with something, but with a click with some event, then the state will be changed and it has been updated by some event. The event type could be different. And then maybe if other component replace this, then this is unmounted, another new get mounted. So this is the stages. I think even your existence or enrolling to a course and attending the course and finishing the course is the same as these stages. Just to make association or analogy of that. And you will be fine. Okay, now, then what? Why I wrote the constructor? Because the constructor is actually the first to be executed and later see actually. Here, let me just clean and I am the first to be executed, but I have to say, I am the constructor. I am the constructor. And I think I have to refresh it. I am the constructor and I am the first to be executed. And then again, what comes next? The render part. So in life cycle, as you can see, the first to come is actually, which one is it? Anything inside the constructor will be executed first. And anything inside here comes second. Oh yeah. So we have different life cycles. Now, these are all mounting. These are all mountings. Now let's talk about a component did mount. Component did mount. As you can see, it has also mount, right? So it's a mounting. It, by the way, this is a reserved method. This, so you don't change the name. And React knows it, it's reserved. Component did mount. So console.log, I will be last. I will be last. Have you seen? First this came and then this came. How about should component update? I would console.log let's see this. Let's see this. As you can see, you don't see anything. It's not coming. Should component update actually? This allows you. Have you seen, by the way, the English expression should component update. It's up to you even to decide. I think I want to show you also it takes a next props and the next state. Next props and next state. Based on this, you can decide the fate of this. But now, if we don't return true, just by default, if we don't return true, it doesn't even run, like even the application by itself, it just freezes. So it's now I have to just run it true. For instance, this allows you to block people if they do something. For instance, if you are developing a game, when you reach 10 points, it may gives you some what is this reward, and then the application may refresh or restart from the very beginning, or it could also block based on some criteria. We will see that later. And the other is actually, I think before I write all of them, let's just work on this. And then we'll come to that. And now this, let's see this. You see this if something updates actually. So you don't see it now. And now what you need the most is component did mount, because this is the place where you want to use something. Const in the state, for instance, countries. And you can start from a 0, as you can see. What's the length of the countries here? I may say H2. And then I can say countries dot length. Sorry, length. Have you seen what the mistake I made here? Do you know? Do you know my mistake?
Maybe you need to add div.
What?
Div.
Yeah, if you don't debug this code, guys, I will not continue today. Okay, help me out.
I mean, okay.
And read also this.
The
Okay,
slash in the closing tag is wrong. It has to be.
Maybe you need an outer div.
Div.
What?
An outer div, like a wrapper.
What did you say?
Wrapper to wrap it up.
Wrapper. Yes, that's the answer. Yes, it needs a parent wrapper. It should be wrapped in a parent HTML element. So div.
Yeah, that's what I said, div.
Oh, then I didn't hear you. Oh, very well.
Yeah.
So a wrapper, it needs a wrapper all the time. But guys, sometimes you may not need a wrapper because it destroys your CSS, your style, and that's not something you want. But anyway, I have some mistakes of this. Countries is not defined. Oh yeah, because I forgot here this
state.
Not countries. Yep, 0. But now I will show you something. I imported this fragment. We can make use of the fragment to avoid extra wrapper. Hey fragment, please come and help me out to remove this unnecessary wrappers. And then, oh yeah, after this actually you can make use of fragments and you don't have to add one layer after another. Yep. Okay. Even nowadays, even you don't have to import the fragment like this, and it's so smart that you can remove and you can just put these two nice. Even you can put it like this and it works still. Yep. Have you seen this? Nice. So you don't have to add additional HTML element. Then you can keep it like this. Still, this is a fragment. And in the meantime, I just showed you this. This nothing to do with React lifecycle, okay? Now let's talk about a component did mount. If you remember, I have the countries API selected somewhere. I want to render this here. So I have to write const URL. The URL, I can put it here. I can use actually fetch. Guys, do you remember the fetch? Yeah, fetch. Fetch is a JavaScript built-in API already that allow us to fetch, to send requests to a server, and it fetch data. Then I can pass URL here, it takes, and then response, maybe you can say response. Maybe we can write it in a long way. Then I can say response. Then I want to respond it like in return it response.json, because I'm expecting a JSON. And then is data. I want to get my data over here. You can write this also as a long function. First, I will explain this for you later. Data, and then I can say console.log, and then the data. That's nice. And let's see. Yes. Is it our? Oh, have you seen, guys? Do you see something? Of course. Our data is available already here. Where is it? We managed to fetch it here inside the component did mount. That means after our component is mounted, we fetch the data. Now we can make use of this data to render it on here. Yeah, guys, do you remember that? Then, by the way, maybe if you need more explanation again about the fetching, as you can see, I have the URL of the API. And maybe if you don't remember how that looks like, maybe I have to show you also from here. Maybe some of you are new to my course. This is, okay, it takes some time to fetch. So it's a JSON file having object countries from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. Yeah, so we have about 250 states. Yeah, you know. If you go all the way up to the end, you may see, you may see something like that. Yeah. Yes, all the way down. And if you see, definitely it's 250. Yeah. Yeah, you see 249, but it starts from 0. So it's totally 250. We don't argue on that. I know it, you know it, you've been there. Then let's just come and work. Okay, now I think, okay, let's keep explaining this is the URL, and then fetch takes the URL. Then we have to contact the server, yeah, and get it as a JSON. After we get it, we can make use of it here, not outside here. So just to make it a fancy function, we can remove this and change it to a row function. Everybody here loves a row function, don't you? And then again here, and since there's no much thing going on in here, we can return it explicitly, don't you? And then the same goes in here. Yeah. And we can break it from the then here, and we can also break it here. Yeah, I think it's good to break it from here, just for readability. And then let me just add this, and there's not much thing going on here. I can remove also the block code, and you will have such a clean code. Yeah. So it still do the same thing. Then, as you can see, it's 0. We don't have any number of countries. So what we should do is actually we can set our state here. Consoling doesn't have any meaning, right? So let's say this dot set state. And what we can do, hey countries, I want you to have all the data I get from this fetch. And by now we may have you seen something here?
Yep.
Yes, then that has been. So now we made use of the component bit mount. So anything you fetch from a server, so you should put it here on the component did mount. So we have that. So now it's time to render all the countries over here. And now let's do that, because sometimes it's important. So div, I can say like this dot state dot countries and dot map. Everybody loves in map here, right? One single country. And then even on the fly, we can destructure it here. If you remember the destructuring, yes, truly I love destructuring name, capital, and population, and flag whatsoever. At least I remember this, because if you see one of the country, let me show you. I think the reason why I structure it like that, first I will show you how the data looks like. Remember just to use the console.log as much as possible, and you will have a chance. Yeah, then if you go one of the country, have you seen it has a name? I structured that. It's easy for, okay, it has a name somewhere around a language. Actually, then it's not a language, so I have to change it to language. And in capital, there should be capital somewhere, as you can see, population, area, whatsoever. But now I have seen that it doesn't have, not language, I have to say, yeah, language. Okay, great. Now we can render, then return at least just one list. We can try with the name, yeah? That is step by step. Oh yeah. So as I told you, we have all the list of the countries from Afghanistan to Zimbabwe. Yeah. Maybe you might be also, then if we are sure that this is doing something, then I think it's better to use a more of a div kind. And if you remember at some point, even we just do some kind of div, an additional div, then we go for h1 for the name. And just what is the name? And then after that, we just use P for, oh no, P for the capital. And then we used another P for the population. Population. Yes, I think I don't pronounce this word properly, but who cares? I hope you got what I'm talking about. And then the flag. And then the flag, actually, we can make it down and another div. And we have to have an image source. So we have to inject as in like this. And alt, the alternative, the alt. So you remember that is very important. I can make use of the name which is coming there. Then it will be like a flag of Finland or something. So I can also inject the flag here. I think now we should see something crazy here, but as you can see, what's wrong? Yeah, nothing. So we have to really do something right away, because the flag is really too big. So we can just, in a lazy way, we can add style, inline style here. Yeah, this is how we do inline style using React, right? Then widths, and then I can say 10% for the time being because it's too big really. So now, yeah, now as you can see, some tiny flags everywhere followed by other informations. Yep. Okay. Now let's do more, but usually I think we can just make this outside and we can actually just say, for instance, render countries and we can just make, I think, a kind of a method that will responsible for doing this, yeah, instead of doing here. Then I can just take this out. Okay, but maybe I can just call this class and I call it countries. So it have, and I may take this all outside and write it just here. And even maybe I can even make it like, yeah, it may take a data. Yeah. So the data is actually going to be this dot state. But the data is coming from state, so we don't need that. But what we need, let's see, I think I have this. By the way, even I don't have to have this return, I can remove that. And I don't have to need this. We can just return it explicitly. And I think we don't need this. No, what am I doing? Let me check.
Wait, in line 36. If you go to line 37,
Yeah.
end of it, you need to remove that.
Yes. Yeah.
Put
I have
the
removed.
parental at the bottom. Yeah.
That's removed.
Then you need to put line 48.
Line, yes, but line 48, what is?
You need to put parent stuff there.
Yeah, thank you so much. You managed to see it. So the mapping is going on here, and after mapping, I'm returning this. Yep. So it's somehow clean, and I can inject this where I can this dot render, hey country, and then you just call that function. Now it will be seated here, and you can just make it in. Yeah, then we should just see the same thing, but it's a bit cleaner, as you can see now.
Excuse me, can I ask if the render country is a method of this component?
Yes, it's a method.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Thanks.
just which instead of like now it's not a spaghetti. Now like it doesn't improve it much, but at least this is responsible for rendering the country. And as you can see, it's a method. That's why we are invoking it. Okay, so if you want to style it a bit, we don't have to write here style. We can write style here. Yeah, we can destroy this, and if you remember, dot countries is just a kind of a flex. So display flex. If you see now, everything is in. Oh yeah, have you seen it? Yes. Then it's flex. But flex wrap, because I want it to be wrapped, something like okay, countries, and I want also this name to be country, the single this div I want to be called country. Yeah, then I may just give some for the country, I may give some height maybe I can give them 150 pixel, and the length, oh no, maybe what's 150 pixel for a while just to see. And please, I want you to go here. I don't see any change. Why? Maybe let's put some border, then that will help us to see pixel, solid, and gray. Yeah, I think it's there. And let's add some margin 25 pixel. And of course, let's add just some padding and actually 30 pixel everywhere. Then but this is not what I want. I want them to be, actually it's already, as you can see, we have this. But now we don't need to make 10% of the image. As you can see, the image is so tiny. So let's remove this, because if you know, it's relative. Relative means, yeah, but now the image is really too big and we don't know what's happening. So it's better. We can give it here, image, and the width, we can give it about 25%. I think by now it could be somehow smaller, but still it's too small. We can try with maybe 50%. Yeah, now at least it's somehow okay, but as you can see, everything is to the I don't know, to the left. So we can say justify content center, if you remember, and it will be to the center now. And maybe if you want also the text to be capital, what's text transform to upper, and that may change everything to upper, but that might not be the best solution. Then you may maybe, for instance, if you want this to be uppercase, you can say to upper case. I was teaching what is that, Python yesterday. So okay, now as you can see, this looks somehow okay. Then this, maybe if that's confusing, you may add this capital, and this is actually going to be population, and more information. For instance, language. How many languages are spoken in this? Maybe we could say, I think it's a length language. We can say language.length. Yeah. As you can see, in Afghanistan, they have 3 languages, and what is this? In Poland, it's 1 language, but as you can see, the height of our country is small, so we have to make it a bit bigger, or maybe the smaller. Now, as you can see, height, maybe, how about if we give it 300, and maybe we can make this one also about 35% something, and everything will be somehow in position. Yep. So the styling will take forever, and we are not going to work on that. It is not a CSS class, right? Yeah. So this is what we can make use of, the component did mount. Yeah. So we have covered the component did mount, and let's have a 10 minutes break, and we will also make use of the other React component life cycles. Welcome back. I hope you understood some of the life cycles. During the break, I just wrote this code so it will be confusing for you. I just like to remove this, okay? And then let me just focus on what we had. Yeah, we built this together and we stopped and agreed that, as you can see, there are 3 languages in Afghanistan, but it doesn't make sense just mentioning that there are 3 languages. It would have been much better if we mentioned them by name, and let's do that. It could be a bit tricky, but let's see the structure. How does it looks like the structure? And we have to go to the languages part. Yes, as you can see, it's an array of objects. Let's see, and inside there is a name, so we can map this and change it to change it to a list. Where can I do that? Actually, if you see here, I can't write here because we did explicit return. So instead of explicit return, we have to use the curly bracket now because we have other things to do, right? Yes, we have to do this. Then we can map these languages to lang names, and then I may do language.map for each language. And I can structure it right away here because you have seen it, it's the name, and then I can just return the name. This is how you structure, you map it. So let's see what we get. Console.log language names. What's going on there? Okay, lang names is not defined, so I think I made a typo. I hope we have, yeah, because I didn't declare this yet. We have to declare it first, and then let's see now. Yes, as you can see, array of languages, Dutch, Nepali, English, and Nauran, whatever, so hard. Serbian, Bosnian, Albanian, and Croatian, something like this. So this is easy to map then. You can map it here. So how do we map it? We mapped it already, actually. We mapped it, then you just inject it here. Language names. But you may not get a very good UI. As you can see, everything is together. Now we can use a join. Hey, join them by space, something like that. And that will help us. Oh yeah, that's very beautiful. Yes, as you can see, but we can still make some change by making a space in here and language capital this one. And as you can see, language Pashto, Uzbek, Turkmen, and it goes like that. But there might be some places there will be just language and there may not be languages. So I will show you what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe I don't know where to find.
There is languages, and even if it's just one.
Yes, yeah, now it's language. Maybe you can add also some logic. If it is just only one, then just make this singular. If it is many, more than one, make them make this plural. And if there's no any language for that, because there are islands, okay? Then you can just remove this part. This part will not be there, okay? And it's the same goes for population. The same goes for capitals, because some states are not countries. All these are not countries. Some might be just some islands somewhere. As you can see, this is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and North Ireland. this quite a lot of information, so it took quite a big space and it's everywhere, so that's easy. But now let's make also this a kind of readable. I think that we can use this to local the string. I don't know, I think that can change to, oh yeah, then I can go to numbers to local string. I have to, yeah, to locally string. So I forgot to. So now it will be easier. Have you seen for the eyes, for instance, in Åland Islands, there are about 28,878. So we don't have to spend the whole time just polishing this, but let's move on to the other states. So far we are learning mounting. Maybe just to make this look good, let's change that to countries or something else. Yes, I can change it to world countries data. World data. And maybe I can also put everything I have in here too inside a header, and everything will be there. And guys, so maybe I can say style here in a lazy way, text align, center, yeah, because it should be JavaScript object, and this should be, and number of countries. Yeah. Oh yeah, now it looks like something. Yeah, we're done with this one, and let's move on to other things, and this should be removed. Remember, after you finish, remove all your printings like this. Yeah, remove this, but these are important, we need them, and I will keep that. This, we don't need this anyway. Okay, now let's see again. What do we see? I am the constructor and I'm the first to be executed. Okay, so what? Now we know that the constructor is the first to be mounted. Okay, great. Then I will be the second to be executed. What is that? Where is that coming? I am the renderer. Okay, I think it would be nice if we give it a name. I am the renderer and I will be the second to be executed. Yeah, why? I'm the renderer and I will be the second to be executed. As you can see, I will be the last. Where is that? I am component did mount and I will be the last. By the way, for some reason, my browser is not refreshing it. I am component did mount and I will be last. I am the renderer and I will be the second to be executed. Oh no, guys, you should see something. Have you seen this at 52 times? What's happening? Okay, I may tell you. I am the constructor and I'm the first to be executed. Okay, we know that and everybody knows that. Now the constructor is the first to be mounted or to be executed, right? And then I am the renderer and I will be the second to be executed. Okay, then the component did mount run last. And then again, this one is also talking. I am the second. This is not anymore a second. Actually, this is the last. And I want you to demystify this for me.
So this component did mount, it goes to the render method,
Yeah.
but it's not the second, but the second after.
That's great. Yes, I think if you what Maria said actually, this happens, great, and this happens. After this happens, the component did mount update the state. Then if the state updates, the render has to be again executed to see the new interface, because the render method should be rendered whenever the state changes. Again, I will repeat this. If the state changes, the render method will be render again. Yeah. So if there is any change on the state, then this part of the code will rerun again. Yeah, we have completed component mounting. Let's move on to component did update. Okay, component did update has next, props, and is that next? I have to check this from previous code I wrote. Next, props, and no, actually previous props and
Next state.
Previous state and previous props. Let me be sure. Yeah, previous. Okay, good. So let's leave something in console.log, and I am the component did update life cycle. Did I tell you that we have mounting? We have finished the mounting. The constructor did the mounting. The component did do the mounting. As you can see, also it has a mount, and the render also do the mounting, even though it doesn't have any mount word. Now we are looking at updating. Okay, so let's see this update. What do we see on here? On the component did update lifecycle. Why I saw that? Why we see this, guys? Why? It's updated. Who updated? How?
Could you show the code?
Hmm?
Could you show the code?
Yes, we have this, and I just wrote this line. Maybe I can help you by commenting this out. And if I go now, and if I show you, maybe I have to refresh it. Now you don't see the component did update.
Yeah, no component there.
Why?
Maybe on did mount it already updated once. Can it be?
Yes.
Maybe I think maybe it's not yet update.
Yes, it was not updated. The component, because as you can see, the component did update. The component did update happens when some changes in the props or the state, as you can see also. Then here, when some change now, if you see now, I am the component did update lifecycle, because there is some change happening, and that's also aware that, yeah, something happened. Of course, the state has been changed. And let me show you also now, let me just turn this off again. And what value do we get from this console.log? Previous props and previous state. What's the value we get from this? Let me show you. I think it's not updating itself. Actually, we don't see anything. Nothing is coming out from the component did update, because nothing nothing has updated. So, but if because of this, if it updates, when the component did mount, the state will be updated in something you see here. Yes, as you can see previously, the state was actually empty. I mean, the previous props was empty, and also the previous state was empty. It was like that. So it helped us also how it was actually after something changed. It give us what it was at some point in time. You can at least move one stage back. So as you can see, say previous. What was the previous props? What is the previous state? Now it happened. It's something changed, but what was? So you may want to compare something. And then now let's see should component update. And this actually talks about next props and next state. And let's do console.log. I am the should component update. But have you seen something wrong? Do you think my React application working properly?
It's a Boolean.
Yeah, I think you're reading properly. You're reading the warnings properly. App.should component update, return undefined, instead a Boolean value. Make sure to return true or false. That means this component should return a Boolean value. If not, your application is not working properly. So I have to say, to make it work true, and now you will see everything is rendered. But if I say false, actually, it will be blocked and it will never update. Have you seen? Have you seen? It's not updating now. But our function, our React application is working properly, but because of this, I'm telling my application not to be updated, because return false means not to update. And as you can see, the state was not updated. Guys, have you seen it? Please tell
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But now, we want to see all the countries. We want to travel around and we want to see them. Let's come, and all of them are here. But maybe what's the use case of this? For instance, we can block certain countries, yeah, from entering to something. Or we can, for instance, if you are giving some service, you can block some geographical regions, or you can block a certain user. Yeah, I will show you how. For instance, let's say users. Yep. Okay. And then I may have Asabenach, and then Eyob, and then here I may have maybe Kirsi, and then I may have Ralph, and I may have Julia, and I may have Maria. Lots of people here. How many people? No one knows. And let's block Sabina from accessing this application. How does we do that? Okay, we can do that, by the way. Let's do something, but we just randomly select one of these guys. Maybe I can have a method choose or select user method will allow me to do some processing here. And yeah, you know that index, I go for that, map.random. I go for the floor, you know what that is, so match random times this dot state dot users dot length. JavaScript Ninja, do you remember? Do you get what I'm trying to do here? Yeah? Okay, and because we have been doing such kind of examples 100 times. And anyway, as you can see, this state dot users, I am getting the length of the array, and then I am multiplying by this math.random. So we are removing the decimal using floor. And then let's select user. Then I can say what's the user, this dot state dot users. I can just pass the index. And then current user, I may have state here, current, the current user. Maybe just we have empty. And then here we can set the state somewhere. Anyway, this dot set state current user is equal to user. Are you okay with this? Do you understand what's happening here, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just try to get one random index and then select one of the user. Then I'm stating that. But this has to be called somewhere. For instance, I can call it in the component did mount. Okay, this can be called in the component did mount. Where is the component did mount? This dot get. What's the name? Select user, and I will show you some users somewhere. Forget about countries, but where shall we put? Oh, I can put it here somewhere. This dot state dot current user. Who is the lucky one? Let's see. Oh yes, and Maria is the lucky one, and again Maria. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, now the plan is actually we don't like Asabena here. Yeah, let's block him. If it's Asabena, we block this. Okay, how? As you can see, we have this. Now let's see console.log next state. If you see that from next state, have you seen current user from where is that coming from? I think it's coming late. So I can understand that it's from line. I should see it from line 38. Then. Line 38. Yeah, line 38. As you can see, the country's code and users and current user. And what is this? Yeah, why it's not updating itself anyway? Now we have current user Ralph. Yeah, so but the plan is if a sudden is coming, we block it. So how I do so, as you can see, I have to go to this is an object. This is an object. The next state is giving me this object, the whole object, countries, users, and current user. So I'm interested in current user. Okay. If next dot state dot current user is going to be Asabin, and then he is going to be blocked. So we return false. Otherwise, it's all the time true. Now let's see what's happening. Yeah, no problem with Kirsty, and no problem with Julia, as you can see. So as you can see, there is some delay because we are fetching data from a remote server. Yeah, of course it's random. It may take to be lucky and to. Oh no. Again.
Maybe we should block true name in order to do it fast.
Yes, that's a very good suggestion. Thank you. We can, or Kirsty is coming so fast. So let's do Kirsty. Let's skip one more time. Oh, no, I don't know. Either Kirsty, because of me, have you seen? But you see it from here. Because of me, it has been blocked. So you can actually block it at some point. You can manage. It's up to you to decide the component to update or not. So should component update? It's like a question, right? It's up to you to say yes or no. Yeah, that's great. Then at the meantime, what was happening actually here, 32 and 32 up to 35, what's the component did update doing? Let's see, because we've been just printing out. Okay, now let's just refresh once, and even let's avoid this line because it blocks. But instead of blocking also, you can show some pop-up. For instance, your subscription has ended. So, and you may tell them or you may inform them to do something, or you may also block them. And maybe even you can just block them by IP. For instance, if it was an IP, okay, if person who is using certain IP, block it. It will be blocked. Then it will be just, you don't see it. Have you seen it? We didn't manage to see this list, right? Just by that should component update. Okay, great. Then let's move on to the component did update. This actually, now I think you may see it over. Yeah, we did 33. I will show you. If you see now, if you see 33, yeah, at some point it was just empty. Yeah, but then after, yeah, this is empty. But then after the component did update runs, I think this this one run this I am the it would have been better if I wrote it before, and it will be easy for you to see it. And then the data will come out from 34. Let's see.
Sorry, and what about component did mount? Does it mount only once?
Yes, it runs once. Yes, you should know that component did mount run once, and it just sits like that.
And if you kill this server and start all over, it will also like start once.
Of course, of course. Yeah, there should be something to trigger it. There should be something to trigger it. But by itself, it just run once and just sit. And if there's something that triggers the component in mount, of course you can make it rerun. So now that's why we have this, like the component did update lifecycle. For instance, at line 33, it runs after the component did update, and now actually what you see, let's see. There's nothing actually we see here. Countries is empty, and but something happened. At least the current user was updated. This the current user. If that was not updated, even you don't see this line 33. Nothing happened. If the component did update at all, you don't see any console coming out from the component did update. But for some reason, it didn't update when the this one. Oh, okay, let me see 39. Where is this 39? Let me see. Yeah, that should component should come. Yes. So this it could be triggered by some buttons. But as I have seen that, it was not the component. The component did mount was rendered first, and the component did update didn't notice it, and that is a bit a surprise for me too. Yeah, it needs a closer look to understand this, but you don't have to go much detail because the React hooks solve all this problem. And now you have the very big picture how the component did mount, the component mount, the component did mount, the component did update, it should update, works somehow. And you don't have to really use this much often unless you develop some complicated application that needs change of the lifecycle match. And the new React already abstract this, and you don't have to do much of a lifecycle. It's already handled by React hooks. Okay, I think this is good enough. And now we should move on to the React router DOM. Okay, good. So and then I think I have to kill this by, where is running Control S, and I'm going to see, and then here npx, then I have to say create React app. And then I have to say React, I think you don't see where I'm writing, React router. But this is already, so routing, I call it routing. That might be also a very confusing name for create React app. Routing lesson, yeah, routing lesson. That would be good, routing lesson. Because create React app, if you use already reserved packages or names, then it gets confused and it doesn't create for you. And in the meantime, I can remove this, already the Git. Git bash. I have to go to week 6. And I have to go to component. Okay. Where am I? CD. Yes. Now I want to remove ref and .git because every React applications by default has a Git, and this project has also a Git, so it doesn't make sense. So I have to remove that. So I have removed it. So to remove, you need remove and by force rf and then .git. That will remove the Git initiated folder, this one. Yeah, great. Then let's get back to the new where are we? I think here. Yeah, maybe until this runs, we can run this the previous folder and implement Axios, maybe, I think. Yarn. So far we didn't learn how to add packages. So you can add package npm install and now Axios or Bootstrap. So of course you have to know how to. You have to go to, I will show you how to install. So npm package, Let's see. And then on the, as you can see, the reason why actually JavaScript is growing so fast, there's already available packages. Have you seen for the last 1 month different packages? I don't know what this number exactly is. It's so big number. I think it's 1,127,369,186,791 times different packages have. Yeah, Axios. Let's see the number of downloads for Axios. Just this week, 15 million downloads. Have you seen it? So quite a lot of people are using this. So to know if a package is very popular or not, because when you choose a package, you have to be sure that it's tested, something it has been used by many people and that works. So as you can see, this number really tells that this Axios is very important to fetch data from remote server, from API. So this is how we install yarn add Axios or npm install Axios. Yeah, in the meantime, so it will run and let's talk about that. So this is the license, total files 42, and pull requests. There are new pull request issues. There are some issues there. So the developers are these two guys developed that awesome package. I have used it quite a lot, and actually almost you can't develop an API without that. But now Fetch is actually good enough. Dependencies, it doesn't have much dependencies, as you can see. But dependents, other packages that depend on Axios, as you can see, there are quite a lot of them. Yeah, versions, how many versions? So it has 46 versions, so you can see the different versions. And if you follow this, you may have also a chance to read the code itself, so how they wrote it. Last publish, yeah, as you can see. Yeah, so this is the npm registry. You may also build your own package. There are quite a lot of. Is React by itself a package? Yes, of course. React by itself is a package, and as you can see, weekly it has got, yeah. But when we use create React app, the create React app just bundles everything we need, and we don't have to install it separately. Oh, still we are running the Axios. That is taking quite a long time. So this is npm. N stands for node, P stands for package, M stands for management, node package management. So this actually those Packages, they are usually written as a node module. Node, it's a JavaScript function. But it stays. The reason why first node comes and then this npm came after that, npm just exploded the popularity of this JavaScript ecosystem, because you can create an npm package that can be used by everyone. So JavaScript became so popular because of that. Yeah. And this was owned by npm by some people. I think recently npm has been bought by Microsoft, and yes, now it's a property of Microsoft. Oh, why it's taking forever? That's a surprise. I don't know. But let's just give it some time. But in the meantime, we can see how the Axios, like you can search it here, or now I go to the GitHub and I will show you how the documentation. Of course, you don't have to go to the GitHub all the time. There might be some documentation here, README. Sometimes that might not be enough. As you can see, this is how you install npm install Axios, or Power. I think this is an old way. So another way, yarn add Axios, or you may use it as in CDN. Okay, this is how you import it if you are using actually in the backend with Node, but that's not how we use it. With React is a bit different. We import it. They should also present how to use it with React. Okay. Yes, this is import Axios from Axios. This is how you import. Then we get. Get means actually getting resources. I will explain to you here. I think now it's about to finish. It has finished already. So let's start it again. npm start. And then I go to the file, one of the file, that is the app mainly. And when it comes to server, we have this get, and then post, put, and delete. We call this actually a request methods. If you remember, when we learned HTML and CSS, we learned about the HTTP lifecycle. HTTP life cycle, or no, I think HTTP cycle, or HTTP response request. Better to write request response cycle. So what does that mean? Whenever we interact with a server, what does that mean interacting? For instance, I am actually fetching the data this. When I'm clicking this, let me do the click. If I'm doing this click, I'm sending a request, and the server actually is responding to me with this JSON file. So we call this request response cycle based on HTTP protocol. Yeah, so now I'm doing the get. And so I got the get. But if I was modifying, for instance, posting, sending something, it could be a post. If I was modifying or editing, it could be a put. If I was then deleting, so it's a delete. So we have this for different request methods. But today we just only use the get, getting resources from a remote server. We did the same here. With the fetch, but now with Axios. Since Axios is running now, let's do the import. Import Axios from Axios. And then I may comment out this, okay? I may comment this out, and we can use instead Axios. It's so easy, Axios. Axios.get URL. and we say, then it's one step response console.log. Let's see what we get and the response. Then response, I think our application is running already. As you can see, there's no data because we removed the fetch. Now we want to, now as you can see, I got an object, but from this object data, that means from the response.data, I can get the countries. Oh yeah, then it seems it's the place where we can set the state, set state, and then I can say, hey countries, I want you to give you some, yes, some gold here. And then if you go, now it's updated. As you can see now, we make use of the what is this? The Axios package. So it's a bit shorter code than this. Axios.get, Axios.post, Axios.put and delete. So we changed the method from here. But today we just want to post. So it's so easy. We use the first package. Great. Now let's stop this and instead return to CD. And we can go to, what was the name? Routing, right? Yes, routing listen, your npm start from scratch. We stop that. Any question? Oh yeah, so now let's do the routing. So not to be confused with that, so let's close all this so we will be here. And the first place you should go is here. And I want to declare that we are about to learn. Let's write H1. We're about to learn React Router DOM. And we want to route from page to page. So far, we didn't do that, yeah? But now it's time. So we have to install a package. That is the React Router DOM. Let me go to this file, cd react lesson, because I don't like to stop it, and I can just cd routing. Where am I? Yeah, cd and week 6. Yes, now I can say npm install and then React Router DOM. Do you have to remember this? No, as I showed you, React Router DOM. Install it, and then it just take you here and read the documentation. As you can see, in just this week, there are about 3 million downloads. So do you think it's popular? Yes, indeed, it has been. And it depends on 7 other packages, other dependencies, as you can see. There are about 47 versions. Oh, these are the developers who developed this. Yeah, so then now, how to use it? As you can see, import, browser, and then you will see how to use the React Router DOM here, or if you go, if you follow also maybe this one, it will take you to the official. Yeah, this is the official, but it's always a different, it's a different guys developed this, yeah? It was not part of React. That's the beauty of JavaScript. You can build something and integrate it, and it will be part of some other libraries. Okay, now let's add, let's import, because I think I didn't enter this. I should have did that, because it takes some time for downloading. So install means actually we are downloading it, and it will be here in the node modules. If you have any question until it finishes downloading, you're very welcome. No, you don't have any? Yeah. Maybe we can build some functions or some components until it finishes, okay? For instance, if we want to route different components, we have to have the components first, right? Usually I want to change this to a class-based component, so in the meantime, let me change this to extends and React component. And it's better to import the component. Import React and also the component from React. Yeah. Then I can just copy this, and in Bitune I have to render, and I can paste this. Yeah. Now I have a class-based or stateful component. They call it stateful or class-based component. Functional component, we call them presentational component or stateless component and DAM component. Okay, they give them quite a lot of names. But let's check if it's downloading. Then we have this. Maybe we can create another component in the meantime. Const. I want to create a home component, right? You can create a component in different ways. Function, home, and then this like, and you have to return some JSX home sweet home. Yeah, some people say that, right? So if I want to render it here, I can say home. Oh yeah. Yeah, home sweet home. How about, but you and I, we love so much this functional component. I want to change this to a functional component, don't you? Yeah, I know that you just love this. So let's change to that. And now let's also create maybe the about, and we can just create h1 about page. Yeah. And then I can say about. Oh yeah, but the about page is also the same. How about if I have const and a contact? And then if I say just h1 contact page, and then I can render it here. Contact.
So for example, when you make one stateful component, a class, and other are functional, can you still have the state inside this class component?
You mean here?
Yes.
You mean the state now? You mean count 0? You mean can we add state like this?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yes. Of course, yes. If it's a class-based component, you have the chance to add state at any time, if it has children or not. And the state will goes to, actually, you pass the state you have to the children as in a props, and the children take it wherever they want, and it will be present. Yeah, for instance, now we can say count is 0, and I can pass it to home if I want to count, and it will be this dot state dot count. Now, actually, what I have on the state is passed to the home as in a props, and then I can render it here, and now I can say props, and then it will be this dot state, and actually just a props dot count.
Okay.
Have you seen?
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah.
Now
Thanks.
we are just wiring it up. That's what we are trying to do now. Okay, by now I think the React router should complete. Yeah, it has been completed. Now we can make use of React router DOM. As I told you, you don't have to remember things by heart. You can make use of the available documentation you get from this or somewhere else. This is how you import, for instance. Yeah, I can import the same way like that. So I go at the top and I import, and then router, and route, and then link, and then actually redirect, nav link. There is also nav link. I will talk about those difference. From where? From React router DOM. React router DOM. So these are actually by themselves, they are a component, and there is this React router DOM. I am just accessing them. Yeah. So why we need them? Okay, let me show you something here. Now, why is? Okay, the module not found, cannot resolve. I thought we installed it. Did we install it in the wrong place? Routing, I think we did. And as you can see, Reactor, you must install pre. Let me see. No, it is indeed. Okay. From. And another way to check if it's downloaded or not, you go to the package and check. Yes, we have the React router DOM, so it's installed. But why? I can just stop the my server and try it again because I don't know why it didn't. Okay, then what I can do, there's some server running. As you can see, there are quite a lot of them. And we don't need this anymore. Is it running? Okay, we don't need that anymore. And okay, there's nothing here. Is there something running here? It's not running anyway. So let's run it once more. Sometimes if this happens, just stop it and restart the server. That might bring a change, you know? So you never know. Yes, it doesn't come with React. It's just, yeah, now it's, as you can see now, we have a plan to have a different page, yeah, but everything is rendered in one place. So that's why we need React router DOM. Okay, how do we use it? It's so actually this React browser, this browser router, we can wrap everything. Let me show you now. I may destroy this for some time. And just let's see, browser router. This is, and then you can wrap the other for instance, let's see, h1 hi. Yeah, as you can see, I wrapped it some. Previously, it used to need some kind of wrapper, but now it's even working without being wrapped. Okay, so I managed to wrap this. Okay, great. But this is not how it works actually. We need to have routing, different routes. For instance, and the route should have a path. What is the path actually? I will tell you about that. And then we have to render that. Okay, how? I can, for instance, render here. I may show you like function, like component here. I'm creating like this. Okay, just render this for me. I am home. Yeah, maybe I think with the what's happening here? Even it's really hard for me to read. No, it's too tight for me to read it. Yes. Let me remove everything. Render. And then you have to have this. And you have to close it like this. Self-closing. Yeah. This by itself route is a component by itself. And it takes two props. This like a path and render. And sometimes this could be component. Yeah. And here I can say, for instance, h1 and then hi. Okay. By now I'm expecting hi to be written here, but I was not the lucky one and I don't see anything here. Route is not defined. I thought we fetch it here. Yeah, it's not a router, okay? I should have fetched it as a route. That was the mistake, huh? Have you seen now there? It is hi is a route. So actually we can call this render or component. So you can call it render or component. As you can see, still it shows. Then, as you can see, this doesn't have much space to write code. Instead of writing, let's call the component we have here home. So just drop home here. Home is here now. So home will show up. Home sweet home. Oh yeah. So now let's add also more. Yeah, then after this, actually what you do, copy paste. Everybody loves copy and paste, and then this will be about, and of course this will be about, and then this will be contact, and this will be also contact. As you remember, we have the components at the top. Yeah, here, home, about, and contact. But the problem, and now as you can see, I am at this path. What I see is actually what? Only home. If I go just add here and add about, I should see about pages coming. How about if I change this to contact, and then I should see contact. But the home page is lingering over there. We see it all the time, yeah? Tagging along, so we don't need that. Okay, so we may add actually here another attribute, exact. Exact means only a slash. If there is something after the slash, please don't render it. Now, as you can see, the home page is not tagging along anymore. How about if add this additional slash? Still it works. So to avoid that, you can add strict. If you do that, then most probably, so why strict? I was expecting that exact strict. Okay, let me check. Strict, and route. React router DOM. Of course, you have to pass exact. strict. Yeah, strict true. Other places to use here. Strict. Okay, let's see again.
Should true be in curly brackets?
Actually, it shouldn't be even like strict, should be just enough that this means actually even it's true. Now, do we have the slash, one more slash? It was in a curly bracket. Maria, it was in a curly bracket.
Yeah, but I wondered maybe it should be without. I don't know, just
You mean
like
this, without? We don't write props like this.
No, yeah.
We don't. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me try other pages also. Oh yeah, because I'm trying because I put the strict in the wrong. I should write the strict here. Okay, the strict should be here. Like strict now, as you can see, it's contact, right? That means it should work only like this. If I add there extra slash, it didn't work. Okay, so that's I was now, as you can see, if I just do this, it has actually. It did work because I destroy the code. It should be strict here. And exact also. Yeah, have you seen now? It vanished. So if we want exactly only that pass, so it vanished. Now if I remove the slash, it will show up again. Yeah, so now you know the difference between exact, strict. Also strict is just, it doesn't allow one extra slash. That is the point. Now we almost create a page. So now we can make this separate folder. Let's say components, and then we have to move this, the home there, right? Now we can say home.js, and it should be here. I usually like to do it the old way, so I like to import the React from React, and we have to export this as default. Export default and home. Yeah, and then I have to import it at the top. Yeah, I can import home from dot components and home. We do the same. We can take this to also other home page, other component. I call it about.js. And by the way, the lazy way you can create this a component or RAC, this kind of a component, a different component, even, yeah, some kind of. Now I have just a beautiful component. Lauren, if it didn't work, okay, about page. Then I have to go here and import about from components and about. Yeah. Then what's left? This is left. Okay. Someone turn off the camera. Most probably will be part of the video, so you should watch out. Yes. Maha, you may turn off your video, then it will not be part of the. Okay. Import contact from components and contact. So I didn't create yet. I can create contact.js and then yeah, I can say this or contact us. I think now, for now, this will confuse you. We'll talk about next week about props, different props. Now let's see what we have. Yeah, we're in the contact page. Yeah, but guys, do you think your users will navigate by changing the path from the URL?
Some links.
No, so there should be a navigation, right? A navigation that will help us to navigate between. Okay, so let's do the navigation. So to create the navigation is so easy. We can use just a normal kind of this, for instance. Do you know this? Yeah, this list, and you know this. What was this? Why it's not supporting? Okay, then you may have a tref. And then we may say, this is the home. Now let's duplicate all of them to something, yes, about this. And this is about, and this is going to be about to. And of course, this is going to be contacts, and this is also going to be contacts. And maybe this should be also to plural because it matches. But contacts, maybe we should also change the whole thing. If we change that component, you should also change it here. And maybe it's also good to change it and change the file name to them. You don't make a kind of a confusion. Yes, and then the change continues even though it works. Okay, good. Now, as you can see, I may have about much better, but this is still okay. Let's change that. Maybe we don't have anything there. Maybe I may leave this for something like current user, or maybe some user. Okay. Oh, great, but we don't have this component yet, right? Yeah, so as we don't have any component, maybe if we don't have any component, how about if we just not found is much better, right? Okay, let's put that. Then we can say actually route a component, and then we can say not found. We can just write the not found just here, like this. H2, maybe it's a smaller, not found. Yeah, not found. As you can see, I'm clicking here, but not found is lingering all the time there. Yeah, it's coming. So how do we avoid that? Who can help me? As you can see, when I'm at home, I'm about, and this, it's just there all the time. So how can I?
It has no path.
Yeah, it has no path because we never know when the not found comes. We have no idea. When something is not found, it should come, right? But we never know the path. Okay, to solve this, I can follow one. There is this switch. Switch will help us. I will help show you switch. Switch is another component in the React router DOM, so we can wrap all of them like this. Switch, and then we put them. Why we need to switch? I mean, wrap everything together. The reason why the switch allow us to render only one component at a time. Okay, If this matches, it doesn't go for the second one. So it renders one item at a time. So now as you can see, home, yep, yep. But there's nothing here, and great. That is the basic.
Sorry, can I ask something?
Yes, please.
Since we use switch, is it possible to remove path from it?
The path, this path?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Because we didn't use paths at last one, at users.
Yes, because this
So,
one is this. Okay, for instance, when it comes from top to down, and it comes top, it will be checked top to down, right? And if this matches, this will be rendered. And if this match, this will be rendered. And if this render, other will never render. But if the others doesn't match, then this will be the last minute to show. Yeah?
So is it like a conditional default?
Yes, it's a conditional. Yes. Do you remember in a conditional in switch case, do you remember the default?
Yeah.
Yes. Or maybe if, else, if, else, if, else, if, and then at the end, else. When you are so desperate, finally, you just show something. And that is now at such a desperate situation, we just show we don't have the page, not found. But when we know the path, we have to give those paths, okay? We have the home path, the about, the contacts, and all others. Yes. Great. Is it clear?
yes,
Okay, so now this seems a bit just, it doesn't have anything. So you can start populating your portfolio because it's already, now you know how routing, right? But let's do some improvements. For instance, let's add H1, H1 here. And then it's about, instead of just that, it's better for some reason. Lorem ipsum is not working for me today. And I may say, this is all about me. If you want to know more about me, go to LinkedIn. I hope you will not write like this for your portfolio, or GitHub for this, but I can write, right? Okay, now as you can see, I wrote some information for myself. Yes, and let's write something for the about or this one. We may just create lots of things. Now we don't need this, of course, and maybe you can add even different sections if you want. Maybe, I don't know, introduction, maybe some, well, the lorem ipsum is not really helping me a bit. Some maybe a project you want to show right away, just a P, awesome, just to check. And then you may show something there. We have this and then about and the contacts, and at least let's structure them in somehow similar maths fashion. And I may just put H1 and contact us, please. Oh no, don't make it so desperate and no one. Okay, then maybe address. Maybe you can use this, and you may get me, I can say P space street in English, changed. Yes, SO whatsoever, and the email whatsoever. Yeah. Now this is the basic. Now let's add some state. Okay. Where is the state? So where can I put the state? Tell me, guys. Okay, good. I can state this. For instance, is logged in. Is logged in is just false. Let's start with false is logged in, because let's check if a user is logged in or not. But before that, I forgot to show you something. Let me click over here. Have you seen the pages has been refreshing? Do you see some refresh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not a React. Then if the page is refreshing, it's not React. If a page is refreshing, the state is resetting again. So actually, this is not how you make a routing. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is old way of doing. Yeah, but still it's working in a half-hearted way. So we have to use the link. We have already linked. So now I may change all this to a link. Okay, I can change it in one line. Okay, link to, yep. So instead of href, we have these props, it takes 2. And then let me also change this a to then link. Great. So we make use of the link from React Router DOM. Now, when I'm clicking, you will see the difference. It's so smooth. Oh yeah. Yeah. Have you seen it? It's so cool. Yeah. Did you notice what I noticed, or am I just huh? Okay, great. Now let's do a course. A course is maybe I have to have some courses here, and maybe courses. Let's create a component, a course, maybe, or courses whatsoever.
Sorry, I just want to get to know something. You know, in week 3, we did the same thing like this, and then we use a link. So does it mean it's an old style of using the React?
What was the first D3?
No, the week 3.
Yeah.
We use something like a link that
Well,
li is something like that.
but that's external link then.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course,
So,
external. Yeah, it's okay for external link. External. This is internal. We are routing the page.
okay.
That's okay. We will use the external link. Yes, I have to mention that. For instance, now this doesn't have a footer, right? Knowledge site also, thank you for mentioning that. So let's create a footer. Yes, footer.js. And now let's create it so fast using the boiler. I can see this, and now we can say, I think it's better to wrap it even inside, but it's okay. But I can say footer, and then maybe I can say p, and then copy right. And how do we do that? Maybe there's this copy.
I mean, when we use navbar in week 3, yeah, we use links, something like LRA. I don't know how to call it.
Yeah, that's of course. That's okay. That because you didn't learn, but it's okay. You didn't learn so we don't really put there this and so, but that's just a demonstration. So if you implement your React project, you should do it this way. Okay. So there's no any way we can introduce at week 3 about React Router DOM, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my question now is that time, that week 3 style, is it old fashioned or?
No, it's not old fashioned, and and that's not how you do it with React. That is just a way to show you. But in week 3, even I'm not exactly sure what I have to go there and check. I have to even, because we have defined, right? Yeah, and the mini block, right? Is that? Because it's hard for me to remember. If we see, we have nav.
Navbar. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so this is just a sample. So now this has to be changed to React Router DOM. Because at this stage, you don't know how to use React Router DOM. So this is just a demo. So this is just how HTML works. It works for us, but not the way, I mean, it's not in a smooth way. The problem is only the refresh.
Okay. Thank you for clarification.
Yeah,
That's what I want to know.
but don't implement like this. For instance, if you implement it in your portfolio with this, actually this is okay, because now I can see that we are in one page. Have you seen? We don't have pages. We are navigating from like, have you seen? There is no any way we go to different pages. So we've been pushing it down. Like, for instance, whenever you click here, it scroll down to the about, it scroll to the course, it scrolls. So you are using a data link to navigate inside the page. This is absolutely okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought we linked this to like HTML page. So this is absolutely okay. But with this, you can't go far, because it's a bit, it's just, we are just scrolling it from page to, from top to bottom and from bottom to top. Yeah. Okay, great. So let's make use of the time. We're running out of time. Now I got what you were saying anyway. Now even let's go back to this, the footer, and import the footer to the, again, here. When you import, you should have import, what is the footer, and from where? From dot components, and it should be footer. Yeah. So where do you put your footer? Tell me, guys. Inside switch or here? You just tell me. I want you. Where is our product? Tell me where your footer should be.
Outside the switch.
Outside?
Outside, yes.
Yes, it should be outside. So it should be somewhere here, footer. Yeah, now you have the footer here. Okay, how about if you have a header? Because now we don't have a proper header, so let's just make everything more into a component. So footer.js. I mean a header. Sorry guys, header.js, and I can make it in a more this way. And now I can have header. And we can have here h1 portfolio, because you can start your portfolio from here, and we don't need this for the time being, but we can import the navbar. Do we have a navbar? No, we don't have a navbar. The navbar was rendered here. I think it's a good idea to take the navbar there or create a new navbar. Okay, then let's create a new navbar. Navbar.js, yes, and then our, yes, and then I can just return it here. I copied it, but as you can see, there's link, so we have to import it. Import the link from where? From React Router DOM. Yes, and then now everything is okay. We don't need this. And where do we want to import this? Actually inside the header. And we don't need this, the props for the time being. Import, yes, navbar from dot components. Oh no, Why? Navbar, it should suggest to me navbar. Okay, what's wrong? And then now we can use the navbar here, where maybe inside here, navbar. But as you can see, we didn't just yet import the header. So where do we import it? Here. Now at the top, we can set a header. And then the header will be coming. The header is not, because we didn't import the header. So that's expected. So let's import the header. Import. Hey, header, could you please come to the app.js? Yes. Yes, header is coming so fast, and it's here now. And now the header navbar in component module not found. So navbar is not found for some reason inside the header. So let's figure out. We imported it properly, and maybe it's not exported, or why?
I think you don't need to use component in the when you import the navbar inside the header, because you are in the component folder already. So the dot.
Yeah, okay, that's one of the problem. You're right, but this also we made a couple of mistakes. As you can see, we forgot from one of mistake, and another, as she said, we're already in the components. We don't need these. Those are the couple of mistakes we made, and still, yeah, now it starts working. As you can see, this is your portfolio about. Yes, now this is really structured, but now what is this? What can we do with? And maybe let's see, let's have some courses, and those courses can be accessed by someone who logged in, okay? Course, I may say return div again, and just h1, or maybe h1 courses. The courses are only available for logged in users. And then we can actually have a route here. Then we can say route, maybe just path. We don't, and then course. What's the course? Yes, it is. And what's the? Oh no, sorry. Course or courses, whatever, and component and courses, or courses. I can just call it courses for the time being. And I should close it. But what's left? Courses, and yeah. So we have to have also in the nav here, we have to have some link to courses and courses. Now, as you can see, you can access the courses. The courses are only available for logged in users. But I think the point is to, when you click, yeah, that's okay. But if you logged in, you should see the course materials. That's what I'm planning to do, okay? Now it's okay to access all the other pages, but when you get this, you should see the materials. So how do we do that? So we need this conditional rendering. Do you remember I just said this is logged in false? So we have to have a kind of some kind of button to click. So where? Yeah, maybe somewhere I can still work on somewhere, just create some in the div here, just and I can just button and login, log in. Okay. Have you used that? Have you seen this? Okay. Do you think it works now? No. But how about if we just change this true, false, true, false? Yeah, handle login, handling the login. We have to have just a method, and this will help us to this set state. And actually, is logged in will be changed to this state is logged in. As you can see, I'm using negation. If it was true, we change it to false. If it was false, we change it to true using this negation operator. Then I have to have on click. Yeah, everybody loves this event. This dot handle login. But now, so how do I know if it's true or false? I can just alert something. Where? For instance, we can do the alert over here. This dot state dot is logged in. Now let's see. It's false. It's true, as you can see. It's false again. It's true again. So how about if we change also this text? Login, log out, something. Okay, now it's login. If it's false, it should be login. If it's true, it should be log out. Okay, how do we do that? We can use conditional rendering here using ternary operator. Do you remember ternary operator? This dot state dot logged in. If it is true, we say log out. If not, we say log in. This is just one operator. Oh, as you can see now. Yeah, but we don't need, after this, we don't need the alert. Yeah, you know that I don't like alert. Okay, thank you, alert. After this, oh yeah, now as you can see, actually we are changing the state. Yeah. Okay, good. So what is the plan here? I will show you something. Guys, I hope you have 15 to 20 minutes to implement this, and we will finish that. Yeah? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you can have just a 5 minutes break, because it will be really good to have just some pause. Then let's have just a 5 minutes break. I just pause it. Welcome back after the short break. And if you remember, we've been just toggling log in, log out. Yeah, so now you know how to turn such a kind of a button to something else. Yeah, so we can change it to anything we want, a cat to a dog to a cat, and something like that. So this is a very good way of doing conditional rendering. But the thing is, actually, we want to block this. For instance, how? Okay, that means that actually we can do this the conditional. For instance, we may say, we may do something like this. We can render it something like this. Yeah. Now, as you can see here, I think it's better. Still, we see the course, but I think it would have been much better if we say the course, welcome to the course instead. Welcome to just, well, with the course. Now, as you can see, it's a welcome to the course, but we didn't log in yet. But next time, now what I'm trying to do, I want to redirect this to protect that. So what we should do, I may try to prevent this, then I have to pass this what is this called? Redirect. I think, wait. Maybe I can check from all the codes how we redirect to this. Do I have here any kind of similar codes? And there's, yeah, redirect actually, as you can see here. We can render or redirect. Yeah, great. Yeah, I got some code good enough for me to remind what I forgot. So actually we can say this dot state dot is logged in. If it's logged in, we can show, yeah, of course you have to see this. We can render this. What am I doing? This one, of course. If not, we have to redirect then to actually home. This is like we are just giving the direction to the path, but we have to also close this. I think this is good enough. Yeah, by now we should it should work. I believe what happened. Okay, so
I mean redirect. Is it React or redirect?
Redirect.
Because you use React.
Yeah, thank you. Redirect. Yes, because sometimes this yeah, I think it's good now. Yeah, now as you can see, everything is good. Okay, it works. We're in the home about, but when we course, have you seen? I clicked on the course, but it gets me back to the home.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm at home. It's okay. About. Yeah, but when now I'm logged in, right? As you can see, now if I do courses, welcome to the course. That's great. And now that's what we see. But how do we implement actually path, sub path? I think that will take us some time to cover. I think this is a good enough for today. So what did we learn so far? So we learned the browser router that allow us to create the whole navigation. Yeah. And then we learn a switch to decide to render only one route. And then we learn a route. In the route, you may have exact attribute, you may have strict attribute, and path and component. Mainly, you need a path to show the path and the component, what component to render. Yep. Then yeah, the same goes for all of the path. I think this is basic for React Router DOM. It's not the end. It would happen much. I mean, it would be great if we had a chance to cover some of the sub routes. But today, I think we should stop here. Maybe I can show you something additional. Active class, as it's so nice. That would be active class. Active name, and then it's active actually. And then you can just give it, I will show you on the CSS, we can go. What is it, the CSS we wrote? Oh, we didn't write any CSS here. Okay, then dot active, for instance, color, we can say orange for some time. And then let's see if it changes. Oh no, then I think I may forgot that active class name and link. So yeah, you don't have to remember active class name. You can use active style like this, or the active class name, something like this. Did I make a typo? Then why it's I just wonder. Active class name. It's and let me see again if there's maybe it needs sometimes this also exact. Oh no, I don't see that. Okay, maybe I can make use of the previous code I have here. That will help actually. Nav bar, we have to go to the nav bar, then I have to go to the nav bar components and there's no active class name implemented here. Maybe I can also change. There's a little bit difference between active class link and nav link. Nav link, and sometimes I may forget between those. And so to change this to nav link, actually, just nav link. It's the same, okay? There's just some minor functional difference, so don't be surprised. So nav link. So this is the latest. Then yeah, so I think it's the nav link has the active class name. Now, as you can see, it's working for that. So what you should do, add this line for all of them. And of course, I think exact should be there and it will start. Exact it's enough only in the first one. You don't have to have exact. Why? Because this slash exists in all of them. Okay, because of that, exact means only slash. Okay. Then we can add this in all the routes, and that will allow us to, yeah, now this one is active, this because as you can see, this doesn't let us to be in, so it's not active yet, but no, we got in and it's active. Yeah, now since it's we logged in, so it's active. Great, thank you so very much, guys, for being here up to this time. We completed the basics of React Router DOM. So by now, you should know what is browser router and what is route, what is a switch, and what's the difference between link and nav link. There's no much difference, but there is a bit feature difference. So we don't use them here because we have used them in here. So no need to put them there. And redirect. I think that is one, maybe something you have to, I think, route with router. There is also one component with router sometimes when we fill a form, and when we go to the second page, we may use this. When we submit data, yeah, there's something like this. Yeah, I think that's what you need for the basics. Maybe if we have time, we may work on a project or do additional of React Router DOM. Thank you so much, and let's stop in here.